A new solution being put forward to fix your high energy bills.
Our Plattsburgh Bureau Chief Alec Lasham tells us how it could work for North Country families.
With just weeks until New York State lawmakers return for session, North Country Democratic Assemblyman Michael Cashman is putting forward his first bill.
It seeks to stabilize the electric rates that people are being crushed by from our electric companies.
Cashman says the legislation is in response to high utility bills over the last year. It puts a cap on increases at 2.5%, including transmission or other related fee hikes. If a company proposes anything higher than that, the Public Service Commission would pause it from going into effect for 180 days while reviewing the utility and proposed rate. It also makes it so utility companies can't get money on things like shareholder dividends, requires an itemized breakdown on a consumer's bill, and puts up civil penalties that are 3 times the amount a company collected if they don't meet the requirements.
If the companies are not falling within the scope and the program, that those penalties will also be collected and will be used in such a way that will help offset the cost for low-income individuals as well.
Utility company NYSEG says the Public Service Commission already does an audit of utility rate plans. It also say in part, quote, "We look forward to working with Assemblymember Cashman to help make bills more transparent, advocate for greater transparency on energy supply costs, and remove state mandates to make energy more affordable for all New Yorkers." I've also reached out to North Country Republican lawmakers about the bill, but they're unavailable to comment. Reporting in Plattsburgh, Alec Lasham, Channel 3 News.